We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your weekday morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, I think I may have just the wackiest title that I've ever written on an episode of Coffee and Crypto Live. And it is essentially, as far as I can tell, totally true. A Cointelegraph intern employee, somebody, posted a false tweet and cost traders in the cryptocurrency markets over $100 million in liquidations. Yes, you heard that right. And so we're going to break down what that means today. There was a report that was posted about 2 hours ago while I was fiddling around trying to find a replacement to this sucker because it broke and I couldn't get the stream going, so I had to drive all the way to Best Buy and buy a new dongle. Thank you, Mac, for not having USB anymore. I'll get to that in a minute. While I was gallivanting around Gainesville trying to find a piece of hardware to make sure that we were able to go live and I was able to have my camera, somebody at Cointelegraph was making an even bigger mistake than I was by not having a spare. And they posted a tweet saying that the iShares spot Bitcoin ETF had been approved by the Securities and Exchange Commission. If you don't know what iShares is, that is the ETF line of products that BlackRock launched, 25 years ago now probably. And they are one of the largest ETF managing companies on the planet. And so the report was that the iShares Bitcoin spot ETF had been approved, i.e. the BlackRock ETF had been approved. Later on, that tweet was, man, look at this. Getting a little bit of issue with my camera. Yeah, dongles. For everybody who is a Mac user, you know exactly the pain that I'm going through. I do apologize. If the camera cuts out, let me know. It's an easy fix, and I will have a permanent solution by the next time we go live. Anyway, I'll get to the dongle crap in a minute, but for right now, we need to talk a little bit about this wacky title. Let's go ahead and jump straight on over to none other than CoinDesk, who has seized the opportunity to politely and politically absolutely roast their competition. Bitcoin jumps to $30,000, then dumps as false spot ETF approval report circulates. That's a much more polite way of saying that a intern at Cointelegraph screwed everybody over. CoinGlass data shows that $72 million worth of short liquidations were liquidated. Short positions were liquidated on the move to $30,000, and $31 million in longs were liquidated during the correction. Wait a minute. Jeb, Bitcoin went to 30K when? 2 hours ago, Bitcoin was trading at $28,000, and then Cointelegraph decided to just give everybody 17 shots of espresso at the same time, and Bitcoin jumped all the way to $30,000 and then immediately crashed. This is the rally that Bitcoin underwent when we saw that the Bitcoin ETF was quote unquote approved. Now, there's actually a lot that we need to dig into here. First and foremost, I think it's remarkable that within 5 minutes of a report of a Bitcoin spot ETF being approved, Bitcoin jumped $2,000, and I don't think we should ignore that. Now we kind of know how the market's going to react. Maybe the next time that we get an announcement of an approval, people will wait a little bit longer before they go into a long position, and maybe they'll actually use stop losses rather than getting liquidated. Newsflash, if you're getting liquidated in a trade, you didn't do it right. There's never a reason to be getting liquidated in a trade. You get stopped out all day long. You might need to do that from time to time. You will, but you shouldn't be getting liquidated. Let's go ahead and pause for just a second and read some chat and say hi to you guys. Sean O'Brien's in chat, said, hey. Daniel J is in chat, said, good morning. Christopher said, right now. You know, it's funny. I've been trying to get in contact with the people that hold the rights to Real Good Feeling by Oh the Larceny for 3-4 years to update my license on it. They used to charge me $400 a year. It's not bad. You know, it's the theme song of the channel. And then about a week ago, I start getting about 1,000 emails saying now all your videos are revenue sharing. So now I am hoping that I'll be able to get the rights to the song again, but they won't respond to me. At least they wouldn't a couple of years ago when I was trying to get in contact with them. So interesting story with that song. I really love that band, but I'm not so sure about everything else. All right, Marco Andre da Silva is in chat. Good to see you, Marco. Thomas Post said, welcome back, Jeb. Thank you. Philly Skills 1428 said, morning, Jeb. Where you been, buddy? Missed you, man. I don't want to get into it on stream, but we've been facing a lot of health problems. I'll leave it at that. I know that you're probably like, oh my goodness, Jeb, you always seem to be facing health problems. And to a certain degree, that's true. You know, it's hard because we're trying to help someone that is going through a lot of health problems themselves. And it's kind of made us realize how much we're going through also. So, as I said, there's a lot to it. I don't want to get into all of it, but I do have some plans to make things more consistent here on the channel, even in light of that. And some of you guys are probably going to think those plans are a little bit weird, but I'm excited about them, and you guys are going to hear about them. So just be praying for us if you're a person of faith, because we need it. And so I appreciate your support and your continued support here on the channel. Robert Kehoe said, good morning, Jeb. Let's get to it. Foreign said, hello, Jeb. What's going on? Hello. What a crazy day till now. Excited to hear what you have to say. Yep, it's going to be interesting. Totally calls the entire market. Yeah, let's see. Thomas Post said, crazy morning on the charts. Crypto mini bike. Say good morning, everyone. Elijah R said, morning, Jeb. Crazy day today. That's right. Let's see. Question is, did you buy a backup while you're out buying the replacement dongle? No, I didn't yet, and the reason I didn't is because Best Buy likes to charge 3 times the asking price for this tiny little dongle. It was like $50 or $60, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I am going to buy a backup, but I'm not going to do it at Best Buy. I'm going to order it. Hopefully nothing will happen until then. So, the story. I will tell you a little bit of this, and then we'll get on with it. This is one of the dongles. I tried to post a picture and let you guys know where I was. It would not post. So, just everything that can go wrong has gone wrong this morning, and that's okay. We're here. So, this guy is broken. Tried to use it, didn't work. Is what it is. Had to replace it. So, again, can go wrong. Sometimes it just does go wrong, but that's when we have faith and we keep on keeping on, and we do our best to try as hard as we can. And I'm sure that many of you guys have found yourself in that position before. I know that I have found myself in that position many times, where the best you can do is do the best that you can. And sometimes that's the best that you can hope for. All right, let's talk a little bit about this nonsense on Twitter. We got to jump on over to Twitter, Cointelegraph Twitter, because somebody just got fired. Somebody just got fired. And maybe is even going to have criminal charges brought against them. Cointelegraph says, we apologize for a tweet that led to the dissemination of inaccurate information regarding the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. Very political. An internal investigation is currently underway. We are committed to transparency and will share the findings of the investigation with the public once it is concluded within 3 hours. This tweet was posted at 10:32 a.m. They're running a very fast investigation. I would love to hear the results of this. I'll be shooting today's video later on today, and I'm hoping that the results of that will be out by then so that I can talk about it. I just have to read some of these. These are absolutely hilarious. Dylan LeClaire said you could have just deleted it and then claimed to have been hacked, which begs the question, what was the price tag for such a tweet? If you look at the version history here, it says, breaking, SEC approves iShares Bitcoin spot ETF, comma, reportedly. But originally it said, breaking, SEC approves iShares Bitcoin spot ETF, period. Many people are obviously wondering whether this was a manipulation of the market and that Cointelegraph was paid off to do this. I could not tell you. I don't know whether it was or not. I have worked directly with Cointelegraph. I have contacts at Cointelegraph. I will probably reach out to some of them and see if they'll respond to me and ask them what happened. I would love to get the real story. I would love for it to have just been a stupid mistake. What I'll also tell you is that Cointelegraph is large enough in the industry, obviously, because they have the weight to move the market $2,000 if they report the wrong thing. They have contacts and they have information that we don't have. I do wonder if they know something that we don't. There's really 3 different things that could have taken place here in my assessment, and that is, first of all, they could know something that we don't, and they weren't supposed to announce that yet because the public wasn't supposed to know that yet. That's possible. I think that's unlikely. I think one of the other 2 scenarios is more likely. The second solution is the oops solution that somebody at Cointelegraph went rogue or somebody posted the wrong thing. Listen, the way that news agencies of this size work, and I would love to get to the point where I'm able to work this way as well, is that you pre-create content for something that you anticipate to happen. It would not at all surprise me if Cointelegraph had that tweet in a draft somewhere for the last, I don't know, 3-4 months, ever since BlackRock announced their Bitcoin ETF. Because if you were Cointelegraph, you want to be first to market. The millisecond you get information, you want to hit send. It's like the black box with the nuclear codes. As soon as you get that information, boom, you're launching that. 15 seconds can make the difference between whether or not you were the ones to break the news or not. And so it wouldn't surprise me if they had that tweet already drafted, ready to go, and then when that tweet was already drafted, somebody fat-fingered it and automatically posted the wrong thing. The issue with that theory is that why would they then change it to say reportedly? Why not just take it down immediately and say, we fat-fingered it, we made a mistake? And maybe that's what their internal investigation will conclude. The third scenario is what I think Dylan LeClaire is getting at, which is that maybe they were just paid off to say it. Maybe somebody paid them specifically to knock out a bunch of shorts, reset the market, and do whatever. Who knows? Who knows what the point of manipulating the market in that way could have been. But if you want to manipulate the Bitcoin market, one of the best ways you can do it is spread fake news about the Bitcoin ETF being approved. So those are my 3 scenarios that I think could have taken place. Either number 1, am I still frozen? Oh, I am still frozen. Wow, that is a good angle. Man, I need to get that. Man, wow. Like that right there, that needs to be this. I need to make that my profile picture. That was a good one. As I said, guys, new dongle today. Thank you, Mac. Well, I suppose thank you everybody else for not going to Type-C, because I get it. Type-C is a better solution than USB-C. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, than USB-C. Than USB or whatever it's called. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. I get it. I understand, Mac. Not sure why this is doing what it's doing, but I will have it fixed by next stream. All right. What I was saying, Jeb looks like he's up to no good. Thank you guys for telling me. I will keep an eye on the chat. So again, the 3 scenarios I see are, number 1, they actually know something that we don't, and we could anticipate that there is a actual approval on the horizon. Number 2, somebody fat-fingered something. Or number 3, they were actually paid off to do that and manipulate the market. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Listen, we've got to go through some of these replies, though, because they are absolutely hilarious. The first one here, it was so good I had to make it the thumbnail. I did not have a choice, because the Cointelegraph intern just ruined everybody that was short. Don't forget, there were $72 million worth of short positions that were liquidated. $31 million worth of longs were liquidated as well during the ensuing correction. Remember, Bitcoin rallied over $2,000 in under 8 minutes. And so everybody got completely wrecked. But there's more. There is more. I'm not going to read this one out loud, at least not all of it, but... You know, I feel this way sometimes. I know I'm not a React channel. I'm sorry. If you guys didn't read that, are you okay? No. I'm invested in an industry run by effing clowns. It's terrible. Okay. Yep, and there we go. Cointelegraph intern right now. Forgot that guy's name. What? He's the mail truck driver. What's the guy's name? You guys will tell me. Yep, Cointelegraph intern right now. Be like, Your Honor, in my client's defense, he was trying to make it all back in one trade. I just imagine that behind the Cointelegraph logo here is Sam Bankman-Fried, and that somehow SBF is behind all of this. Got this right here. Who remembers iFunny? Mark Zuckerberg's right there. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah. So, again, nope, here we go. Here's one more. Bulls, Bitcoin ETF approval. Cointelegraph. No! Sorry, I ran the intro. So, oh man, look at my camera. Wow. You know, I could, if my Mac camera wasn't If Mac had better cameras, then I would just switch to that, but they don't. That's why I ran all the way to Best Buy to get a dongle. Anyway, so those are some of the responses. Those have got to be some of the funniest responses I've ever seen. Paul Blart Mall Cop, yes, he did play that, but what he's that scene, that picture is from not Love and Marriage. That's not him that played in that. Anyway. Yeah. So, let's talk about the chart. And then if I camera freeze, it won't be that big of a deal. Get your eyes off my ugly dome. Let's take a look at Bitcoin here. As you guys know, Bitcoin originally rallied exceptionally quickly on just the news of the Bitcoin ETF being proposed. The Bitcoin ETF was set into the application process by BlackRock, I want to say on June 15th. And from there, Bitcoin would rally $6,500 in 8 days. Following that, Bitcoin would go through a larger correction, and the reason for that is because mainly the only thing that drove us to 31.5 in the first place was the hype around a potential Bitcoin ETF and the original hope that we would see a quick approval. After that died down, Bitcoin fell back below 28,500, back down to its historical levels of support around 25K. Now, Bitcoin's been in an uptrend, and I'm excited about that. I'm very excited about that. Bitcoin's been doing pretty well, actually. And even before this news, quote-unquote, broke, Bitcoin was also doing well. And again, this does lead me to the conclusion that there is a part of me that wonders if Cointelegraph didn't actually screw up as bad as people think they did. And maybe they know something we don't. Look, I'm not affiliated with Cointelegraph. I have worked with Cointelegraph in the past. I currently have no business with them. It's not that I don't want to. I don't have anything against them. Obviously, this was a pretty big screw up. But I think everybody can agree with that. Hopefully, even the people at Cointelegraph. Like I said, I don't have any vested interest in saying anything good or bad about them. I'm just saying it is possible that they know something that we don't. It is also possible they're paid off. I don't know. I don't know Cointelegraph well enough. I didn't work closely with them, with the executive leadership enough to tell you what I think about the leadership over there. But I am not totally sure. What I will tell you is that there is an uptrend right now that Bitcoin is sitting below, and that is the uptrend that Bitcoin is contending with at this very moment. And if Bitcoin is able to break above that uptrend for the right reasons and not because of a scam wick caused by the intern over at Cointelegraph fat-fingering something, then Bitcoin very well may be able to rally up to 28,500 and rally further from there. One thing to note is that we need to essentially ignore this candlestick during our technical analysis. We don't want to draw this out and say, oh, look, Bitcoin went up to this uptrend right here. This is a touch. Technically speaking, kind of, yeah, that's real. That's about where Bitcoin would have gone if we had actually gotten an approval. But within about 5 minutes of the announcement, we found out it was fake news, so Bitcoin went on to do a crash. So we want to kind of ignore this candlestick for the purposes of technical analysis, but it is interesting that Bitcoin paused at this uptrend that we've been talking about for the last several weeks. Now, the other thing that's interesting here, and I touched on this briefly earlier. Let's see, I'm still frozen. Man, you can't ever get tech to work to your advantage, can you? I've got an 8-camera switcher out there that maybe I should just hook up to. The thing's like $3,000, and I only have 1 camera, so I just run everything this way so that I can run it remotely, but sometimes things go wrong, as I said. Apologies for that. Moving on. The thing that's interesting here is that Bitcoin did actually rally $2,000 just on the hype that a Bitcoin ETF had been approved. And that is data that we did not have before. That is something that we had not seen before. We did not know how the market was going to react to the news of a Bitcoin ETF approval. For about 15 minutes there, the world thought that a Bitcoin ETF had been approved. And for some reason, Cointelegraph was given the news, and they were the ones that were going to break it. What I will say is that it's very interesting to me that the market rallied that far, that quickly, and that should show us the amount of exuberance that is sitting on the sidelines in Bitcoin. And this is the point I want to make with this story today, is that the way that Bitcoin moved this morning is absolutely relevant to what's going to happen in the next year. I do believe that you're going to see a Bitcoin spot ETF approval at some point. And I do believe that that Bitcoin spot ETF approval is going to occur probably sometime during the next bull market. We obviously have quite a lot of capital sitting on the sidelines ready to deploy long. We've obviously, at this point, after what we just saw, we obviously have enough capital on the side to send Bitcoin straight back to 31.5 and even farther beyond that. Because within 8 minutes of the right news breaking, Bitcoin was trading at nearly its yearly high. Again, Bitcoin went to over $30,000. Went to right at $30,000. The yearly high is 31.5. If that news were real, you could probably expect that Bitcoin would have been at 31.5 within a couple of hours, if not even sooner. And if it could go there within a couple of hours, where could it go within a few days, a few weeks, a few months? We've also got the halving coming up. We've got quite a lot of other factors working to the advantage of Bitcoin. We've got the SPY over here, which has been performing relatively well. We've got the Dixie over here, which has taken a pause. We've also got global events. If you guys have not been following the conflict between Hamas and Israel, you'll know there's a very major war going on over there. And I'm not going to get into all of that right now, although I'm not scared of talking about it, and I have talked about it, and I will talk about it. The fact of the matter is that leads to instability in the world, and it also leads to instability in currencies, and it is also going to lead to people wondering if they should be invested in Bitcoin because they don't trust the sovereign currencies. They want to be invested in something that is, to a certain degree, separated from the global markets, and Bitcoin in a certain way is. So quite a lot is in favor of Bitcoin. I am not at all, by the way, saying that the war in Ukraine or the war in Israel is a good thing. I pray for the peace of Israel, and I pray for the peace of Ukraine. And for that matter, for Gaza and Hamas, and for Putin and Russia, too. My desire is for peace, but the right kind of peace. But I will say that the instability in the world is going to lead people to wondering, where should I put my money to keep it secure? Where should I put my money to keep it safe? And they're going to look to digital assets. They already have, and they will continue to do that. So there are many different underlying intrinsic fundamental factors that are pushing adoption of Bitcoin forward every single day. And a Bitcoin spot ETF, I do believe, is essentially inevitable. And when it comes, you are going to see hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars flowing into the Bitcoin market within just a couple of years. As you bring online essentially every single retirement, pension, 401k, Roth IRA, money market account of any, not money market account, exchange account of any kind into the Bitcoin market. Then give them spot access, not derivatives access that doesn't impact the underlying price of the asset, but spot access that does impact the underlying price of the asset because it physically manipulates the supply and demand economics of the asset, which is Bitcoin. Because a spot ETF, there's actual custody of Bitcoin. If you buy Bitcoin with a spot ETF, that Bitcoin is actually sitting in custody somewhere. Ooh, ran over my cord. It is actually sitting in custody somewhere and is actually being taken out of supply, which will drive the price higher. That is going to happen. And I do believe it'll be around the time of the halving. I also do believe it'll be around the time of the election. I do also believe that it'll be around the time that you see Dixie probably going through some kind of correction. I do believe it'll be around the time that the stock market is hitting an all-time high. I believe it'll be around the time that the United States Federal Reserve slows down quantitative tightening and potentially even stops it for the purposes of maintaining liquidity in the United States market as we head into what could be a recession in the future. Many people have been saying for a very long time that we could be seeing some kind of at least a little mini recession in response to the absolute ridiculousness of shutting down the economy and crashing GDP by 33% a couple of years ago. We're also moving into a period of interest rates pausing. All of these things come together in confluence to give us bullishness for Bitcoin. The spot Bitcoin ETF is only one of those factors. So if you are not invested in Bitcoin right now, I do believe that now is a good time to be invested in Bitcoin. That being said, I also think it is a very good time to work on the financial sovereignty in your life. And this is something that I'm trying to work on as much as I can. We want to be in control of our lives and in control of our finances and be good stewards of them with meekness, that we'd be able to grow them and be fruitful and multiply the wealth that we have. And so the way we do that is by starting with a basis of proper personal finance. And then from there, you're able to take what you know from your personal finance and say, all right, well, I figured out how much money I want to spend every month. I figured out my needs. I figured out how much I'm going to invest. I figured out how much I'm going to be generous with. And again, the formula I teach people all the time is take your income. It's easier if it's the same number every month. If it's not, then you'll just have to do a budget every month. Subtract your fixed expenses that you can't change. Groceries, car payment, childcare, getting a new dongle every single month because mine seems to want to not cooperate. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm plugging in my other dongle, but it may just be overloaded. I'll move things around and see if I can split test that a little bit. And then from there, subtract that. You've got your discretionary budget. Split that up into your wants, your investment / paying off debt, and then your generosity. Set a ratio. Let's say you got $1,500 left over after you pay all your fixed expenses, groceries, rent or mortgage, childcare, car payment, debt payment, whatever it is that you can't not pay. Talking minimum payments on things. From there, figure out, hey, do I want 50% going to investment? Okay, cool. If you want 50% of that discretionary, $750 a month going to discretionary, then great. So what going to investment / paying off debt, then what do you do with that? Maybe you want to put a lot of that into paying off credit card debt to get started with. Maybe from there, you want to put a lot of that into paying off a car that you're paying $350 a month for, or $600 a month for, or $200 a month for, whatever. Maybe some of that money you're going to dollar cost average into Bitcoin. Maybe some of that money you're going to dollar cost average into a Roth IRA. There's a lot of ways you can generate wealth in a capitalistic market like the United States or even in Europe, and in other places too. But you're not limited to crypto. So don't think that you're only limited to crypto. I talk about crypto, but there's a lot of ways to generate wealth, and there are ways that you should be looking into generating wealth outside of just crypto. So put together a plan for how much money are you bringing in every month. Subtract how much money do you have to spend every month. Again, housing, food, childcare, debt, whatever. Those things that you can't change or that you're not willing to change. You can change them if you stop them, but otherwise they're fixed. Figure out your discretionary. Figure out how much of that you're going to spend on things you want to do, things you need to do. Not things you need to do, things you want to do, things you want to invest in, and things you want to be generous with. And then from there, you'll have a line item. You'll have a number. Might be $600 a month for investment and debt payment. Might be $1,000 a month. Might be $1,500 a month. Might be $20 a month. Whatever it is. Now you've got your number. It's in your budget. You use that number, and you say a portion of that goes to this, this, and this. And I call that, I think the best word for it is a wealth building fund. It's what I like to call that. So do that, and then you'll have some money every month that you can throw into Bitcoin. And I don't think now is a bad time to invest in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, because I do believe that we're going to have a massive bull market at some point in the next year. And I believe those that are early enough to that bull market, i.e. those that are in the market right now, have the opportunity to make quite a lot of money. And I will be very excited to walk with you guys on that journey. The Big Bold said, this market is a joke, mate. Find yourself a real job. Yeah, it really feels like a joke sometimes when you have stuff like this happening. I don't think it is a joke, but I understand it feeling like that. I definitely understand that. 4-hour wreck, $113 million. How much did BlackRock pay you? Also, apart from them firing the intern you probably hired just to fire for this, I'd expect some heads to roll for the $100 million liquidation, forced liquidations. Yeah, I do. I would not be at all surprised to see... Cointelegraph headquarters. Which one of you tweeted about the fake Bitcoin ETF approval? Not me, not me. I just meant reportedly. They just meant reportedly. It's the secret ingredient is crime. Oh man. Wouldn't be surprised if the SEC tried to get all over this. I don't know what the SEC would do. Look at that, frozen camera again. I'm not sure exactly how the SEC would how they should be involved in this. I don't think they should, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Gary Gensler saying something about this at some point soon. It was a test. If it was a test, it worked. Jeb, get a USB to the USB cable your camera takes, bypass the dongle. That's not a bad idea, but the issue is the camera doesn't take USB, it takes HDMI. I'm shooting on a Canon EOS R. So it's a professional grade camera. It's about $2,000 new. It's a very high quality camera, and so I can't just run USB Type-C to it. I have to run it through. I can show you right here. I don't know if I can get that up in frame, but it runs through. Wow, it froze again. Golly. Goodness gracious. I'm gonna have to figure something out. I am sorry, guys. Runs through. Let me see if I can show you. Runs through here. The cam link. You guys have ever seen one of these things? They're awesome. And I keep having to unplug and plug this guy back in because it normally goes into my other dongle, which is this guy, which is now trash. Don't normally throw things, but I had to do it for effect. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it out, but I do want to read some chat. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Yeah. If tweets are/can be AI generated and a tweet can be this influential, not rocket science. Yeah. Who knows? Could have been. John's asking about CT2A. John, email me directly at jebmcafee@cryptojeb.com, and I will do what I can to help you. We have looked for so many solutions to what's going on with CT2A, And Teachable is just giving us problems. So I'm going to be totally honest. I am pretty tempted to take all of the videos on CT2A, put them into another course, and just enroll everybody and say, boom, go here. I'm very tempted to do that, and I might just do that for you. So shoot me an email if you're having trouble, and I will do everything I can to get to help you with that. I will make sure to check my email here in a couple of hours and see if you sent me an email, John. Get a Lacey-powered Thunderbolt hub. Yeah, I've thought about doing that, but they're $200, and I can buy it if I want to, but I'd rather not, you know. I'd rather put $200 into Bitcoin than put $200 into a stupid dongle adapter. Anyway, I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, and thank you guys for your support. If you enjoyed today's stream, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. And also make sure to check out Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis. You can find the link for that in the description box down below. And check out LuxAlgo. LuxAlgo is saying right now that Bitcoin is in good shape. Obviously, there's a little bit of corrupted data there with the candlestick, but LuxAlgo, to my knowledge, basically works off of the candle bodies anyway, not off the candle wicks, so that shouldn't change things too much. But it is interesting that the buy signal came in on Thursday, September the 28th, and when we did see this news come in, Bitcoin went straight to the take profit zone. So LuxAlgo hits 100 again. Very excited about that. By the way, we've also got a buy signal coming in on the hourly chart. It's been there for a while. We ran right up to the take profit, and that's where we're correcting. Not surprising. LuxAlgo is doing a wonderful job of calling this market. If you've not already signed up for it, use coupon code JEB30. That's JEBB30 for 30% off at checkout, and you will be very glad that you did. I'm going to wrap it out, but before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.